Let's say good evening to Mr. Andy Carlisle, who's on the phone. Andy, are you there?
Hello, Tommy, I'm here.
Well, listen, Andy, you're, of course, the CEO.
I don't like it when you say that.
The creator of Eurovoxx. And
that's right,
how long has that been going on now for? Is that 2 years?
It's not even 2 years, which is actually hard for me to believe. So I started a YouTube channel, which was just me doing a couple of videos by myself, and I think that was August 2016, so not even 2 years yet.
And what made you want to do something as big as Eurovoxx?
Well, I never knew it was going to be as big as Eurovoxx initially, but for personal reasons, really. I'd actually had quite a hard year. I'd suffered from depression earlier in the year. I went to my first Eurovision in 2016, which was in Stockholm, and I was making some small little videos for people in a Facebook group, which you know very well, Europhoria. I was making some small videos for people that couldn't go to the contest to try and help them feel like they were part of it in some way. And then after that, I thought, actually, why don't I set up my own YouTube channel? I'll just do a few silly little videos, kind of on Eurovision-related news. And it grew from there, really. So there was no big plan. It's all just happened quite naturally.
And how much work is involved in doing all of this?
It's, well, obviously a lot more for me and kind of some of the senior people on the team, because I also have some deputy editors now, Chris, Jess and Clara, who people might recognise from some of the videos. So a lot more work for us, but other people that contribute in writing articles and taking part in some of the videos, we're always very flexible, and everyone has real lives outside of Eurovision. I know we don't like to admit it, but I have a demanding job. So, you know, as much time as people can give or as little, every contribution is a positive one as far as we're concerned.
Obviously, some people would say that Eurovoxx is very similar to Weeby blogs. What would you say to that?
We just focus on ourselves and try to do our own thing. There's so many great websites and YouTube channels out there that are focused on Eurovision. You know, Weeby blogs is huge. They're an amazing channel. But, you know, we just do what we do. We've got a really good friendship group in the team. We have a lot of fun. We just love Eurovision.
Hey guys! We just thought we'd show you the arena! Woo! So you probably can't hear us.
You know, and there's a small handful of people that like our videos, or like reading our articles, or like engaging with us on social media. It makes it all worth it for us. But, you know, there's a lot of great websites out there. I could name many.
Because the reason why I'm asking you is, wouldn't it have been easier for yourself just to join one of those groups?
Possibly. I mean, there's so many opportunities for people to join websites, especially after Eurovision. There's always a lot of interest. We were quite overwhelmed by the amount of people that wanted to join our team. But I think I mentioned earlier that I'd never intended to set up Eurovoxx. It was just kind of something I was doing by myself. After a difficult time in my life, I wanted to learn some new skills and learn how to do new things. But it just kind of evolved from there. So it was never an intention to set it up. But I'm really proud of what we do have now. And you know, there's people that like us, and that's, you know, that really warms my heart to know that people like what we do and want to get involved and engage with us.
And tell me about what you've learned about the whole process, about the actual environment that you're working in, say the press, and also what have you learned about yourself by doing all of this?
Well, talking about the environment, the only word I can ever use to describe the Eurovision bubble, especially the 2 weeks as press at Eurovision, is crazy. But you get to meet so many great people from other websites, from other YouTube channels, from other media, and it does feel like you're in a bubble and there's no outside world. it's hard to describe unless you're there, and you spend kind of 24/7 with these people. You make great friends. You know, there's a lot of hard work involved, a lot of waiting around when you want to do interviews. But you know, it's an amazing experience. And I think what I've learned about myself is I've probably increased my confidence a lot, and I've seen other people in the Eurovoxx team that have also increased their confidence. You know, they might have been shy initially, but now they're doing interviews in front of the camera. You know, we have writers who maybe don't have English as a first language, and they've really developed their English writing skills, and that's really nice for me to see and to think, wow, I've maybe been a small part of this. So yeah, but otherwise learning kind of skills about, you know, setting up a website. I never knew how to do that before. I've never been heavily into kind of other forms of social media. And as a team, we're always learning as well because we're so new. So, you know, we're always learning new skills, but we enjoy it.
And obviously you've interviewed quite a few people now, so let's put you on the spot. Which interview that you've done was the most enjoyable?
I have to say probably the interview, and this is for very selfish reasons, the interview that I've enjoyed most this year was actually Ugan from Albania, but that's just because I was such a huge fan of him and of the song. And it's probably where I crossed lines slightly from going from trying to be professional to being a crazy fan.
You know?
Well, do you know what? I'm going to make a deal with you. If you win Eurovision this year, I'm going to get the Albanian flag tattooed on my arm.
Come on!
I'll shake on it.
Wow, nice to hear that.
And my mum will hate you forever.
Nice to hear that. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot for everything.
But he was such a joy to talk to, such a lovely guy. So that's probably my favourite from this year. But if I looked at the whole time I've been doing this, which isn't a long time, one of the ones that I remember with really fond memories actually is Yotzi Popoi last year from Hungary.
Right, yeah.
He didn't speak English, so there's a translator. But this guy just had this aura about him. It actually made me quite emotional speaking to him because he's quite, you know, he was doing it for his people. He wasn't just doing it for Hungary. He was doing it for a whole community of people around the world, and that's probably one of my favourites.
And finally, if anybody's listening and they think, well, I would like to get involved in that, how do people get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with us many ways. I'm happy for people to contact me directly through Facebook. They can find me Andy Carlisle. They can message us through Twitter. They can email me at andy@eurovoxx.net. Send us a message on Instagram, on Facebook. Lots of different ways, and we always respond to everyone.
And it's always a pleasure talking to you, and hopefully we'll
and you
again. We've met once, I think that was 2 years ago.
It was.
We'll definitely need to try and get some time together again. But it's always a pleasure speaking to you, and wish you all the very, very best for the future.
Thank you. And thank you very much for your support, Tommy, and to your listeners as well. You've all been great.
No problem. You take care.
Oh, we Mr. Andy Carlisle. Yes, indeed. Great to speak to him.